And right now, the beaches where the oil washed ashore a decade ago once bare again, but this time it's for a different reason. Of course, we are still in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic, and the question is that going to be changing soon? Well, last week, Alabama Lieutenant Governor recommending reopening beaches May 1st, that is next Friday, but only for people to exercise, swim, and fish. No beach chairs or umbrellas would be allowed until May 15th, and even then, extra patrols will be in place to make sure everyone is social distancing. It's not set in stone just yet. Keep in mind, the governor has to give the go-ahead, and we are waiting on her decision. It's hard to get a definitive answer when so much has yet to be determined. Fox News has been gathering all kinds of questions, but primarily, Byron, it pertains to stimulus payments and people's wallets. So yes, Byron is joining me now in the studio with this part of the story. Hi, Byron.
Hi, Lenise. Good to see you as always. Of course, we're here again with COVID-19 benefit information with our Fox 10 News investigative reporter, Brendan Kirby. And Brendan's back with us for an update on those stimulus payments. And Brendan, we know people with higher incomes don't qualify for those payments, but one viewer did want to know this: can they still get that $500 child tax credit?
Well, that's a great question, Byron, and the answer is it depends. Now, the $1,200 stimulus starts to phase out at an adjusted gross income level of $75,000 or $150,000 for a married couple filing jointly. The $500 tax credit for the children also phases out, but it raises the phase-out range by $10,000. Now, that's a little confusing, so let's take a look at this example. Say you have a single person with no kids and an adjusted gross income of $105,000. That's too much for that person to get anything from the stimulus. But if that same person has a child younger than 17, she'd get part of it. So at $105,000 income level, that works out to a stimulus of $200.
Okay, now what about this question? Is there a limit to just how many kids and the deductions you can take for those children?
Well, only by the number of children that you actually have, Byron. Obviously, you can't claim children that don't exist. But the CARES Act set no cap. So that means if you have 10 children all under the age of 17, you get a credit for each one. So a couple making, say, $120,000 a year would get $7,400. That's $2,400 for themselves plus $5,000 for all the kids. And that also stretches the income phase-outs in the same way. So a childless couple would get no stimulus after $198,000 of income, but that same couple with 10 kids, they would get some money all the way up to an adjusted gross income of $298,000.
Okay. All right, Brendan, thanks very much. Brendan Kirby will be back later on in the hour. So if you have a question for him, you can email it to him directly at brendan.kirby@fox10tv.com.